Morning. All right, let's talk filters. Yeah. This question is from Jana. Good morning, Jana. Hello, I'm a dental hygienist. I saw your video regarding dental safety a couple weeks ago, several weeks ago. Let's see. I know you may not see this until Monday. Anyway, my specific question is about medical grade air purifiers. Yeah, okay. HEPA 13 and above. Yeah, all right. So there are different HEPA filters. Yeah. Regular old HEPA filter, like proper certified HEPA filter, will filter out, I thought it was 99.95% of particles down to zero point 0.3. I should have the web page open so I can see that. Anyway, it's a certain standard, but down to zero point 0.3 microns. So zero point 0.3 microns is 300 nanometers. And so the real question is, well, how big's a COVID particle? And the answer is a COVID particle is about 70 to 100 nanometers. Like with its spikes on, let's assume it's spiky, it's going to be in the neighborhood of 100 nanometers. And so a filter that catches 300 nanometer things can fit three 100 nanometer viruses through at the same time. So, yeah. Regular HEPA not going to stop individual particles from coming through. And so you wouldn't want that in an environment where you are definitely going to be exposed to the virus. For example, in healthcare, you don't want that. Yeah. But then there's these HEPA H13 and H14. These are what are called the medical grade HEPA. These guys are much better. They filter out, it's 99.95 and like 99.995 or something percent of all particles at 100 nanometers, 0.1 microns. And so those are going to filter out near enough to all viruses. Yeah, at least all coronaviruses for sure. And so those are fantastic. Yeah. So let's see what the question actually is. Yeah, I got completely lost there. So let's see. So whether they'd have any benefit for reducing the virus in respiratory droplets? Yeah, they eliminate the respiratory droplet, and they don't allow any virus to come through there. Yeah, they're as close to 100% effective as you're going to find, but nothing is 100% effective. Yeah. And you got to also take into account like fit, if there's a little gap around the side, if you got a beard that makes things weird and you don't have one of the special types that goes over that. Yeah, actually, you probably don't. Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah. So let's see. So would they help in reducing virus in respiratory droplets if used in small rooms after a dental treatment? Yeah, interesting. They could, but would they be fast enough? So this is kind of an engineering question. What is the air clearance rate, and how long would you have to have that thing running? So I know that if you were going into an actual biosafety laboratory, just working on the benchtop with the virus and having one of these things next to you would not be considered safe enough. It's not safe enough if you know there's going to be virus there. It'll lower the risk. The question is it going to lower it enough? I would say you want to look at how many volumes of air, the room is going to have. So you're going to need a little bit of back of the envelope calculation there. And how long it takes this little machine to filter that volume of air a couple of times, because new air is going to be coming in and out. Yeah, thank goodness, because we got to breathe it, right? Yeah. So they'll help, but I wouldn't rely on them as a means of protection. But they would help some. I would still have on. I recommend something like a powered air purifying respirator. I've seen some that are there are different styles that have like the fan and the stuff built into the top or built in other places. It's not always just the little sort of belt type. It's like a little vacuum. Belt-worn vacuum hooked up to a hood. Only it's blowing air out. I guess it's vacuuming from outside to inside. But yeah, those would be safer. And respiratory droplets, yeah, are, I think, something that people are becoming aware of and that are concerning. I think this is where we should look for the next step in protecting people from this virus, is how do we stop those? Because we're good at stopping the cannonballs, like little face shields stop the virus that comes straight out, follows a little arc, and then crashes into something on a big respiratory droplet. But they're not great at stopping the balloons, which are these things that you make by talking, like I'm doing now, that fill up the room, da 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 da, and just sort of hang there in the air, slowly evaporating and potentially releasing virus. Yeah, that's a totally different problem, and one that requires some thought. So that's the idea. You're using the right type of HEPA filter. I just don't know if it is capable of purifying that volume of air in the time that you would need it to. And I guess you're thinking you want to make sure that one patient doesn't contaminate the next patient. I would say you still want to leave the room vacant for some number of minutes. And consult with somebody who's good at math and measuring and the volume of air that a ventilator like the one you're talking about, a filter, can filter in a certain amount of time. And that's what the calculation should be based on. So there we go. That was probably too long way to say it, but helpful, just not something you can rely on. Thank you very much. This is Ask Dr. Ben.